Lieutenant.
The strange Dr. Weird.
Good evening. Come in, won't you? My story tonight, a story I call The Voice of Death. My story, The Voice of Death, begins in the snow-covered wilderness of Canada, in a high, narrow canyon, as a man and a woman on skis sit resting on the trunk of a fallen tree catching their breath.
Blanche, I can't tell you how sorry I am that Uncle John didn't leave you anything in his will.
And there's nothing to be sorry about, Gerald. After all, I was only your Uncle John's second cousin.
I wish Jane and Dan had taken it as well. They certainly were downcast after reading the will this morning.
Well, naturally, they're your uncle's niece and nephew too, and I hope to share this stay with you. You can't blame them for being disappointed.
No, I suppose not.
We better be starting back to the lodge. I can see you're a bit uneasy about being in this canyon.
Well, it is a bit dangerous in here. Look at how the snow is piled up above us on each side of the canyon. If there was a snow slide, we'd be buried alive.
It isn't that dangerous. Of course a loud noise or someone shouting might start a slide. Come along.
There's some sort of scientific explanation for that, isn't there? I mean vibrations sent out by the voice.
Yes, that's right. I got to stand outside the mouth of the canyon and started snow slides with nearby shouting.
Snowslide must be quite a sight. Hundreds of tons of snow roaring and crashing down.
Well, you can breathe easily now that we're out of danger. Oh dear.
Lose something?
Oh yes, my camera. I think I left it in the back of the trunk of the tree we're sitting on. Oh, Gerald, would you mind getting it for me?
No, of course not, Blanche. You say it's in the trunk of the tree?
Yes, that's right. Do you see it, Gerald?
No, Blanche, I don't.
Perhaps it fell in the snow. Look around.
I am looking, but I don't see any sign of it. Blanche, the snow!
Gerald, run this way. Too bad, Gerald. But that's what happens to people who stand between me and $1 million.
Oh, Blanche, it's so terrible. Gerald buried under all the snow. Perhaps we should have stayed in the canyon until they found the body.
Nonsense, Jane. There's nothing we could have done there.
Then I will share Uncle John's estate now, but I would gladly give up my share if it would bring Gerald back alive.
I knew you would, dear. We crossed the river here, Jane.
But the ice looks so thin. Blanche, we didn't cross here on time. Blanche, we didn't cross here on the way to the canyon, did we?
No, dear. This is a shortcut.
Oh, Blanche, it looks too dangerous.
It will support us. I'll tell you what. I will cross first.
Oh, Blanche, I wish you wouldn't. The ice is going to break any minute.
Nonsense. See, I'm already halfway across.
But I can see cracks in the ice under your feet.
So can I, but the ice is still strong enough to support me. See, I made it. Now, Jane, it's your turn now.
Blanche, I'm frightened.
Darling, there's nothing to be afraid of. Now come along.
Well, all right.
Look, you better take your skis off. I think you'll find it easier to walk across than to ski over the ice. You're not as good a skier as I am, you know.
Very well, Blanche, if you say so.
Hurry, dear. It'll soon be dark.
I've got them off now. Here I come.
That's it. I told you the ice would hold you.
Blanche, the ice feels as though it will give way under me at any second.
It felt the same way when I crossed, but as you can see, I managed.
Blanche! Oh, the ice is breaking. Help! Blanche, I can swim. Blanche, don't let me die.
Oh, poor Jean. She should have known better than taking off her skis before crossing the ice. Well, now that leaves only Dan.
Announcer.
Will Blanche succeed in getting rid of Dan? Will she get Little John's estate? Will Dr. Weird be back to tell us the rest of this chilling tale?
Yes, I'll be. And now to continue the story, The Voice of Death. It is the day following the tragic deaths of Gerald and Jane in the living room of the luxurious lodge of the late John Drake. There are Blanche, Dan, and Sidney Rand, attorney for the estate. There is a strange look in Mr. Rand's eyes as he speaks to Blanche.
All I can say is it's very odd, Blanche. First you go skiing with Gerald and he dies under a snowslide, and then a few hours later, while alone with you, Jane drowns crossing a river.
I don't like your attitude. You act as though I caused their deaths.
Blanche is right, Mr. Rand. You haven't any right to say that. The village coroner said their deaths were accidental.
I know what the village coroner said. It doesn't mean I have to agree. Ding, 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 ding.
Now look, it's 5 o'clock. If you don't start for the village station right now, you'll miss your train.
Then you won't change your mind and come with me.
No, I told you I'm staying up here for another week. I need the rest.
I just hope you don't find permanent rest up here.
What do you mean by that?
Just this. If anything were to happen to you, Blanche would be heir to everything. Think it over.
Oh, Dan, you don't believe I had anything to do with their deaths, do you?
Of course not, Blanche. It's absurd to think that you were involved in any way.
4 days passed, days in which steadily falling snow kept Dan and Blanche cooped up in the lodge. With each day that passed, Blanche seemed increasingly nervous and jumpy for no reason. That was apparent to Dan. When the 5th day dawned, bright and clear, Dan suggested a long ski run, and Blanche eagerly agreed. After skiing a few minutes, she called out,
Dan, we aren't going through the canyon, are we?
Why, of course we are.
Dan, let's go around it this time.
That's 3 miles further on. What's wrong with going through the canyon? Oh, it's because that's where Gerald died?
Yes, I can't do it, Dan.
Look, I hope you're not brooding about Gerald's death. You must go on.
I'm not brooding, but Dan, have you heard a voice calling outside the house the past several nights?
A voice?
Yes, I woke up several times thinking I heard Gerald's voice calling out in the storm.
Oh, Blanche. You heard the wind howling, that's all. Now come on, will you? We have to get through this canyon. It's the only way to calm your nerves. That a girl. Now, only a couple of 100 more yards and we'll be out of the canyon.
Let's hurry, Dan. This is where it happened.
Come along then, if you want to hurry.
Blanche, Blanche,
It's Gerald. It's Gerald's voice.
Blanche, Blanche, this is where you killed me.
Oh no!
Blanche, why have you stopped? Come on.
I'm dead, Blanche. You killed me.
I don't hear anything. I don't. It's just my imagination.
Blanche, come on.
I'll never leave until you tell the truth.
Oh no!
Confess.